We're joined by Enterprise Ireland Director Gearoid Mooney. Gearoid, how important was it to go ahead with this year's event, albeit in a different format to previous years?
Matt, it was really important because while the business environment out there has changed, the opportunities for the future are still coming along and we need to support them. Particularly if you look at the added difficulty in getting face-to-face with investors. And we can see from previous years, previous presenters have managed to use this as a successful forum to get in touch with that community. So to not do it this year, I think would have disadvantaged them in a huge way.
I suppose the only thing we're missing is the networking opportunity, but you will be able to put people in touch with each other after today, I presume.
Absolutely. I mean, these events are always really important to us, but the follow-up is even more important. So yes, we will be working and making every effort to connect business investors with the projects that are pitching today.
What has that been like this year, though, even for you, in trying to get to know or to maintain relationships that you'd already started with client companies when it wasn't possible maybe to making the field visits that you would have made in the past?
So for the cohort you're going to see today, it was probably less difficult because what people may not realise that these projects can be anything up 2-3 years or more in gestation, and we would have been working with them all along. It's probably the newer cohort that have come along this year, but we've actually hit a record number of applicants for the support in the year, which may be a surprise, or maybe it's that researchers have more time at the moment to think about what their next career move could be.
Are the entrepreneurial thing that they see opportunity at present coming out of all the chaos?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you look at a number of the projects that are pitching today, they're actually quite medtech connected.
And then maintaining those relationships. So how difficult has it been, though, in using technology to make up for those face-to-face meetings?
It's not the same, there's no question about it. The face-to-face piece always works best. But I think people on both sides of that equation are making extra effort at the moment to stay in touch. And also, I think the project plans that we've negotiated between us and the teams that you hear pitching today are always quite specific. So there's an agenda being followed the whole time, which keeps everybody connected and on track around deliverables.
Is there still the same demand for all these new products and services, given the uncertainty that we have in the economy at present?
So I actually think, again, if you look at the ones that are pitching today, what you're seeing is an awful lot more of the opportunities are arising in the medtech area. And that medtech area is even more important now than it might have been in previous years. And Ireland is in a good position to capitalise on that.
Why is that? Why is Ireland in that good position?
I think if you look at not only the growth of the Irish-owned med device industry, but the presence of so many multinationals here in the med device area for many generations back, it means that there are people who are skilled, who know how to sell those products, who know how to manufacture them. So there's a really good network and ecosystem here around med device and med products.
Although your counterparts in IDA Ireland do such an important job in bringing in those foreign
Correct.
Multinationals, how encouraging is it to you to see that there are so many aspiring businesses and projects, particularly emerging from our third level sector?
Well, I think it's brilliant. I mean, if you look at why they're important to Enterprise Ireland, at the moment we have on the books about 130 companies that have come from this source. And at the moment they're employing 1,200 people and spending in the economy about 120 million a year. So that's why we love them. Not only do we love them though, but if you look at where they raise the money internationally after they've been through our hands, the EU love them as well because they've been putting a lot of investment into deep tech companies, and more than half of the Irish deep tech companies they put the money into have come from this source.
Okay, so we're in a position today where we're going to see 12 particular projects or businesses which are pitching for further investment. Mm-hmm. How did you go about selecting those 12? What were their special qualities, without giving anything away about one particular company, but of the 12, why did you bring them forward?
It was quite a difficult selection because we have a portfolio of more than 40 that are bubbling under at this stage. So selecting 12 was really, really difficult. But some of the selection arrives naturally because you're looking at the projects that need this most at this point in time. So it is a point in time. So that plays a huge part in selecting the ones that we want to expose to investors and the public.
Okay, and then particular qualities in addition to that you will be looking for. How much of it comes down to people? Because as we were saying earlier, sometimes investors look as much for the people as they do the actual products and services. Yeah. And is that made again more difficult by the current situation we find ourselves in?
Again, we've been fortunate in the relationships have managed to maintain in spite of the impediments put in front of us. But the people part is hugely important. I mean, we spend quite a bit of time at the beginning before we ever fund an embryonic project looking at the people piece and who are the ones that really want to do this, that it's not just another project, that it's something that they're passionate about and want to follow. And then quite a lot of the gestation period for the 2 to 3 years is spent on looking at where might the gaps be? Are there people we could introduce them to? Are there commercial people that we could bring in to augment the team and help develop the opportunity? And when you have that level of interaction over a prolonged period of time, so far we haven't really suffered.
Are there also at the moment a lot of outside investors there who are willing to come in and support things that you have supported?
There are. As I said earlier, there's quite a vibrant investment community here, both at angel and VC level. Now, of course, from our point of view, we'd love to see more. And then also over the last number of years, the EU has started to particularly look for deep tech opportunities like these represent and actually support them directly themselves.
How much are you looking forward to things getting back to normal or near normal next year? Or will you be able to continue thriving even if we have to go on with this for much longer?
So I believe we can sustain it, not forever, but I do think we can sustain it for long enough for the environment to go back to whatever the new normal looks like.